Hello, my fellow gnomes, and welcome to episode 11. And today I want to talk about scope. Now, sadly, this isn't 360 no-scaping, but it's about a scripting feature. So if we go back into our team outfit changer script that we looked at in the last episode, you remember there are these red underlines, which doesn't look very good, does it? Normally, if we have an underline like that, it means something's wrong. So if I had a bunch of characters there, you see I get a big thick red underline telling us it doesn't know what this means. And here it's not quite red, it's more of an amber underline, isn't it? But it's telling us as a little warning. And it says, if we hover our mouse over, global team is only used in the enclosing function. Consider changing it to local. So what's all that about? Well, normally when I create variables, I have this little local in front of them. If you watch any of my other videos or tutorials or look at any other tutorials on the web, you'll notice everyone uses local in front of their variables. Whereas in this series, we've just typed the name and then we've set the value. What's all this about? Well, let's go and add in a new script to help explain. So if I have a variable and we set the, let's say, message equals hello. And then obviously I can print out the message, no problem. Now, if it's enclosed in a block, so we could create a while, or we could just create a do and end loop, okay? So while a while loop has to have a condition, a do loop just automatically runs, but it just creates a little code block for us, okay? So if I have this message now inside the block, and if I run it, print message, I'm gonna see in the output it says hello, okay? Working pretty much as we might expect. Now, if I add in local in front of it, then we'll notice what happens is message is suddenly now underlined. It's saying unknown message. I don't know what this is. And so when you're making something local, you're making it local to that block. So if I ran this piece of code now, well, I'm actually going to get nil, okay? Because that variable message, it doesn't exist. It's what's known as out of scope. Now, if I wanted to be able to access that, then I would need to make it global, or I could just define it at the top of my script. And even if I was assigning it at the top of the script, I would still use the global keyword. Now, it might seem handy just to make everything global, but when you do that, you're actually slowing down your script a little, because it has to then save a reference to that wherever it is. So it slows things down a little. And it means you can have things that are a little bit confusing. Now, say we had this message here inside of this do block, and then later on I had some kind of function, speak, okay, and then I wanted to create some sort of new equation or something, and then I might want to use message, but the message value has already been assigned to, and I might not want that. So you can kind of get this unpredicted behavior where these variables you've used before are then accidentally going to be reused later on, even though these are two separate things. So if I've got this speak function here, well, the message, I can make that local because it's only to do with this function. It doesn't need to have anything to do with anything else. Now, if we go back to those for loops we looked at a couple of episodes ago, you remember for I equals 1, 10, do, and then you could print out the value of I, and obviously you'd get down the output. There you go. Now, that's actually kind of interesting because the I is actually local variable. It's local to that loop. Because if I came outside of that code block and tried to then print out the value of I, what happens is we're going to get 1 to 10 and then nil. Well, you might have expected we'd have had 10 again. But what happens is we get the underline unknown global I. So it's out of scope. I is not it's not a global variable, it's just local to that block. And you could have the same thing, if I said I create a new variable now, local number, and I'm just going to make this a made-up number, right? 73, okay? And then instead of using I'm going to use number this time. And then I'm going to print out number again. So all of these variables have the same name. What do you think is going to happen? It starts off being set to 73. Then it's going to be set to 1. And then we're going to add 1 to it each time until it gets to 10. And then we're going to print it again. Well, let's run and see what happens. So we can see we've got the numbers 1 to 10 from the for loop. And then right at the bottom, we've had 73 printed again. Now, that might surprise you because, well, we set that number right at the top and then we changed the value of it 10 times. But we actually didn't, because this variable here is actually an entirely different variable to this one, because they're both local to each block. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the important thing to remember with scope is that it always flows from the top down. So we can also do this with functions. Let me give a quick example here. So I'm going to create a function named addition. And I don't know, we'll just return the result of 5 plus 10. And then I'm going to have a function called subtraction. And that will return 5 minus 10. And then right at the top, I'm going to have a function named equation. And that is going to return the result of addition divided by subtraction. And then if right at the bottom I was to print out, oops, sorry, I've got a typo there. Print out the result of the equation function, then it's going to run all just fine. I don't know, what does that equal? Let's see. That equals -3. Okay, so now let's say I wanted to make these functions local, because that's ideally what you want to be doing. You want to be making functions local, as I just explained. So we'll set these to local, but now we'll see, oh, now we've got a problem because we're referring to functions that are below. So we're now gone out of scope and we can't access these functions anymore. So if I was to run that now, we would actually get a big fat error. So in this case, all I would need to do, set that to local as well, is I would want to have this function be below those two functions. And now everything would remain in scope. And then when I run the game, we would then have our result again, -3. So yeah, hopefully that's not gone too over your head there. It's just a few things to bear in mind going forward. And in the next episodes, we're going to be using this local from now on. So in all our variables, we're going to be using local, and we're going to be doing it in our functions as well. So if we go back into our team outfit changer script, all we need to do to fix these little errors here is add in front of it the local word, local, 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 and then that keeps everything nicely compacted to this code block. And it's probably a good idea to make these variables at the top local as well. There we go. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye!